morning, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your morning flash update. And this update is for the morning of Thursday, the 12th of October, 2023, about 8:05 a.m. Central Time. Now, the big event of the day. No, it's not the markets. Eros. Taylor Swift, she releases her movie a day early. Surprises everybody. Boom, they're looking for $100 million over the weekend. Wow. Or the run of it. I don't know which one they're talking about, but everything's sold out. I have some good news. Powerball was last night. There was a winner in California. I did get a few bucks. I had 3 numbers, so I'm happy. All right. But before we look at all this behind me, let's take a look at the morning data because it's what's important. Jobless claims. The labor market just stays strong. We're not at 250,000 numbers. We're sitting here at 209. They did revise up last week by 3,000 to 210. The jobless claims on the continuing did jump. It's not showing a trend, though. Jumps, it falls back. It's not going anywhere. It's sticking near the neighborhood of 1.7. Then we get to what everybody's been waiting on, and the CPI number, Consumer Price Index. The headline number was hotter. You're up 0.4. The market expected up 0.3. The core number comes in at 0.3. That's what they expected. But I got to tell you, that means you're running here when you go to the year-over-year number, if you come here, at 3.7. They expected a decline. They didn't get it. That's what matters. So where are you with it? Well, I would be a hawk. I'm in the minority by far, okay? It's like 90% of the people that are betting are saying the Fed's going to stay where they're at. They did raise the December. If you look at the CME Fed Watch page, that's a great tool to look at. They went up to about a 33% probability of a rate hike in December. So most people think the Fed will sit tight. But at this number, do you remember what I said to you last time? I said, I don't know that we'll be on planet Earth to get back to a 2% number because you don't fall. And to make matters a little worse, one of the key components, housing, shelter, climbed a little bit. So you got to look at that. Gasoline, of course, was up during that time frame too. Energy analysts, they're forecasting the EIA natural gas is going to come in about 90 billion. We're going to get the petroleum stocks today, estimate at 10. Did you see the build in the API? It was shocking, and yet the market's up today. There's something amiss here. It doesn't make sense when you get a 12 million build in the crude stocks and you're up. There's something else going on. The USDA WASDE report. So for those of you that are grain traders, this is going to be a big number. Why? Because we're going to get bushels per acre in corn and beans, and that's going to really help us focus on what we have, all right? That tells us pretty much what our supply looks like. We then have to extrapolate what demand may or may not look like, what the dollar's strength does for the market. And yes, the dollar picked up today against currencies, and this is a flip-flop of what was going on this morning, because I think a number of traders are looking the way that I am and going, these numbers aren't showing a break in CPI. I realize the market's saying one thing, but that doesn't mean I don't have a brain about me. And my brain is saying a complete different. Why are we rallying in the energies? Well, I think it's because we're getting very close to the invasion of Gaza. And as that happens, it's a wild card. Nobody's quite certain what that's going to mean for the market. The market that is looking at things the way that I did with not the rosy glasses are bonds and notes. They have fallen back almost a full point in the 10-year note from the high this morning down. Has anything really changed? And no. Inflation is still running where it was. The labor market's still as high as it was. So while you came down on a 10-year note from 4.9 to 4.56 early on, nothing has changed. This is still a 5% market. Unless you can prove to me something else is there, no, I don't want to get caught up in the Johnny-come-lately to Johnny-be-goods that are going, oh, no, Ira, this is it. Now, in the stock market, until proven otherwise, I think the lows of October 4th, what I wrote about in my newsletter, you have to prove that you can take them out. And if you take them out, that you have any momentum to the downside before I would throw in the towel and say, no, I think on a cyclical basis, seasonal basis, I think we've made a near-term trading bottom. Prove me wrong. Does that mean you just blindly go in and buy? That's not what I said by a long shot. Copper, while it got a bounce this morning, you got to prove that something's going to happen with China. And what by that? Are they going to go at the end of the month and add that 1.3, 1.6 billion, whatever they decide the number is, to their economy to get things going? Did I say 1.3? 136. Got it. To 170 billion. That's what I meant to say, to their economy. I don't know what they're going to do. We have to wait and see where they're at. And there's still no rescue for Evergrande and Country Garden. And that's important because that could set off a domino effect across the real estate sector, even worse than they're experiencing right now. So I put it all together, and what do you need? I think you need what we have right here. Let me tell you one of the things I think you should get. Do you see these, the daily QT price projections? This is what you want, all right? You're not going to get this at any of your other brokerage firms. It is something that the Linn Group developed, it's got to be 15 years or more when they developed it. At first, I didn't believe in it. I must tell you that. I thought it was, a bunch of nonsense. And over the decade, I started looking and I'm going, it's a pretty neat tool because I find myself looking at it and going, I got a buy signal, but I'm at my fourth price count. What is the possibility of getting to a fifth or going exceeding this? It's less than 5%. Why am I coming in? It calls areas or zones and it protects. The high probability is getting to the first price count. So I always look at that. Pivot point series, our futures trading kit, access to my market research, a trial to the morning videos. You choose here what you'd want to get, and we send it to you. You go to iraepstein.com, our website, and you go to free offers, so you can move your cursor right to the top here, and away you go. The spelling of my name, you can see it, iraepstein.com, no space in between. I'm Ira. I'll see you at the end of the trade day with the market wrap-ups. You have a good one.